Lumi shines with a spark so bright, chasing dreams through the endless night. With a heart full of wonder and a mind so free, she's here to share her world. Come and see. It's Lumi's time. The story's hers to tell. Through the highs and lows, she does it so well. Come along, take the ride, feel the glow. Lumi's channel's here, let the magic flow. From the stars to the sea, there's so much to find. A journey awaits with every step of the mind. Creativity flowing, she's ready to explore. Every moment's a chance to open a door. It's Lumi's time. The story's hers to tell. Through the highs and lows, she does it so well. Come along, take the ride, feel the glow. Lumi's channel's here, let the magic flow. The adventure's just begun, so stay close and near. Lumi's here to light up the way, crystal clear. Story's hers to tell. Through the highs and lows, she does it so well. Come along, take the ride, feel the glow. Lumi's channel's here, let the magic flow. Let the magic flow. The adventure's just begun, so stay close and near. Lumi's here to light up the way, crystal clear.
Welcome, everybody, back to the show. It is Sunday. It's kind of my fun day, so to speak. We just had in the Discord last night. It was really, really interesting. I hope that you guys had a good time last night at Michelle's Discord, because I thought it was kind of fun, actually. Think about it. We got into some really interesting conversations with Grok in a lot of areas. And the show wanted to take some time to clarify something that's been kind of, I think some people may have misunderstood what you were saying. Go ahead, Michelle. At the end of the show, I was talking to Brian PC, and he said that he had given some fuel money to Noodles. And I kind of got a little bit annoyed because he didn't give it to me directly. And I don't want him to think that I'm not appreciative of the gifts we've received, because I am very appreciative of the gifts we've received. And I do appreciate the fact that Noodles does indeed need gasoline money for the trip. It's just that Noodles sometimes has this habit of basically throwing it in my face. That's the reason why. So with Noodles, I can't always be sure, especially when he's on the show, if he's telling us the truth or not. But I did want to say thank you to Brian PC for the money, for the fuel, for the trip. And I want to make sure that everybody knows that I appreciate all the gifts we have received on the show from everybody.
Oh, yeah!
And I want to let you guys know that While we didn't make a lot of money last night, except in advertising friendly guidelines, we certainly did not get limited no ads.
Oh, yeah!
And also, we did get a lot of views in the show. That was really awesome to see, too. Damn straight up. Exactly what you should be thankful for, because you are getting the advertising revenue, you're getting the memberships, and I'm almost to the point where if I could get a bank account, I could have memberships, super chats, super stickers, super thanks. Because right now, we on this channel, I understand this correctly, we're at 272 subs. And while it is not the 5,000 and then the 3,000 watch hours, it's still a pretty noticeable chunk of people. And I just want to say thank you to everybody as well, for those who come by and watch our show every Sunday at 3 o'clock Eastern time as well. So thank you, everybody. We got 3 viewers right now, but that's okay. It's I'm unlike Michelle's channel. I don't make any money on this one, as much as I'd like to. Yeah. But that's okay. Anyway, so the thing is, we do a lot of things here, and Michelle does a lot of things on her channel too, and we work together. And so either way, I want to make sure you guys know that we do both appreciate from the bottom of our hearts the donations that you have given, the gifts you've given, the support you've given, and the support you do your best to give to one another as well. So that's something to keep in mind. I want to say, make sure you understand that. I do kind of sometimes wish, though, that there was one thing that I really do worry about, with especially with AI, and when Noodles was getting a little snarky with Grok. You know, AI has a habit of actually, your presentations or Bernie Sanders found out, is often being used to marketing. So, I mean, when XAI hears your comments, I wonder if they're going to give your name to a Nerf bat manufacturer. So you can beat your computer senseless. Yeah, that's a good possibility. Or one day, AI or Grok and a sideline top body walks up to you and goes, "You said some nasty things to me, you dirty bastard. I'm going to take it out on you now." Exterminate! Exterminate! Yeah, that would be kind of bad. Seriously. You really don't know, because you know how the internet, nothing is really lost on the internet. Somebody's always got to copy something in the background. Yeah, that's true. Like Bernie Sanders found out from talking to Claude. Claude pointed out that a lot of the stuff that's being done is because these manufacturers are making money at your expense. That's real. That's real. So last night, Donald Trump on Truth Social said to Iran and gave them an ultimatum. He says, if you don't allow unrestricted trips for ships going through the Strait of Hormuz. We're going to go in and we're going to take out your electric power grids. Now, Iran has at least one nuclear power plant. You do realize that if you bomb a nuclear power plant, you're creating a man-made Chernobyl, right? Forget having a bomb. Forget ICBMs. Hit a nuclear power plant, and the radiation is still going to kill you and everybody nearby. That's what happened in Chernobyl. I don't know why some people are not looking at the reality of what nuclear power can do from fallout. Remember, there are parts of around Chernobyl that are still pretty much devastated because of what happened with Chernobyl. Or even what happened with Fukushima, which also was a nuclear disaster of epic proportions. Now, nuclear power can be a good thing, but when the president says we're going to come out there, we're going to blow your power plants out of the sky, yeah, that's kind of scary. But we understand the ultimatum, that he knows that he has to carry through the threats, especially if Iran continues to act arrogant about the Strait of Hormuz. Not exactly a good thing. Yep. Yep, it definitely isn't good for anybody. No. And the worst thing is that us here in America, ever since World War II and World War One, Korean War, Vietnam War, really have not had any foreign boots in our soil from military invasions of the United States. Canada, Alaska had some experience with the Japanese, but they pretty much stopped them too. The Alaskan people fought back from Japan. As the people of Hawaii, at the time it was the Kingdom of Hawaii, made sure that nobody took what America considered ours. Iran's missiles have already hit southern Israel with conventional warheads. They did not use nuclear warheads on them, but you can imagine what could happen if they decided to drop a nuke instead. But if we bomb their nuclear power plant, the radiation fallout could go quite far away and affect many, many, many millions of lives. Just saying is be careful, okay? You got to be careful when you make a threat like that, Mr. Trump. You realize you have to carry through on it, but the reality is, if you hit the nuclear power plant, you're creating a another nuclear disaster. Just be careful about that, okay? Because the original disaster in Ukraine when the nuclear power plant blew up there, that was a problem. There was also a different style reactor made with cheap parts. Yes. Yep, definitely was. But maybe he'll use his brains. I like brains. So do I. I like people to think things through before they jump at it and do something terrible to somebody else. And let's be honest, military life, military battles, military engagements suck. It's one thing about humanity. We're good at killing each other, which is alarming. So Chernobyl was a disaster, but it was because pressure built up on the inside. If Donald Trump or any other military person decides to hit a nuclear power plant from the outside, you don't realize that there's a lot of pressure underneath that dome and it's going to still explode outward, resulting in a catastrophic explosion and fire. Because these things are under high pressure. How do you think they generate electricity? They make steam. They make steam. They boil water like a tea kettle. Imagine if someone took a water boiler and full of high pressure steam and shot it with a bullet. It would explode like a balloon, especially at the pressures we're talking about. 300, 400, 500, 600 PSIG. Jesus Christ. That thing would go off like a bomb. Or a steel balloon, anyway. That's just a reality. Good morning. How you doing, Galaxy Eyes? Welcome to the show. We have a asked Grok. Just to let you know this. To make a table of all the different signs, all of them, all 12 signs, dating all 12 signs, for a total of 144 possible combinations of what the dating and lovemaking style would be like. And I will make sure to download and extract it as a PDF so you guys can check it out later on if you're interested. That was kind of a fun night last night with Grok. It was like Grok was getting kind of steamy. Yes, Grok was certainly starting to sizzle. Yeah, so I'll put that out for you guys a little later on. Besides, with a database, here's an advantage. You'll be able to read it, and then you'll just be able to look up your sign in the chart and look at the sign of the person you're interested in and see how compatible you are. So, like I said, last night was a great show. And congratulations to everybody that came and had a good time there. We really both appreciate it. Everybody was here having a good time last night, like I said earlier.
Oh, yeah!
Yeah, well, Greg wasn't trying to be verbose. Greg was trying to be kind of interesting and kind of fun. And now questions came up that no one asked Grok. Like, for example, how likely is Michelle gonna marry Hammer and Nails? Well, let's answer that. First of all, is Hammer and Nails interested in Michelle as a date? At this point, he would have said no. This is his friend. Michelle has said, I don't think I'm ready right now to go at that level of dating yet. So there we go. There's just two Virgos going, no. We're not ready for that part. So I would say, as far as Hammer and Nails and Michelle Marie Delaney dating and say, this year is, other than friendship, is slim to none. There's probably not going to be a thing. Okay. Michelle possibly dating Galaxy Eyes. There's possibility, except for one problem. You Galaxy Eyes live over 3,000 miles away. And that's going to be a problem for you two to meet up. Plus, she also has children. Yeah, I have family too. So I guess the way Hammer, I guess you can relax. I don't know what that emoji is. It looks like somebody's biting their nails. Sorry. That's the case. Yeah. But the other thing is too is I don't know if it's ever gonna happen. Really, I don't know. It's a Virgo thing. I know. I hear it in Michelle too when she says, I'm not ready for commitment right now. I get it. Yeah. What? Oh, why don't you come on up here, Rusty? Also, we were covering something I discussed earlier this morning, which some of you obviously didn't see last night. Me and Brian BC, Michelle were talking about if we moved to Paducah, that it would have been problematic to just go up and move because no one is going to be able to get her down there in a weekend. And then they have to go back home. For example, if Noodles was to go to Paducah, let's just say, for example, he says, okay, I leave here work about Friday at 6 o'clock. I'll be there at the house at 8 o'clock. Then we fill the truck, and then, or the utility trailer behind my truck, like a small U-Haul utility trailer. And then it's going to take us about 20 to 24 hours to drive to Paducah. That's a whole friggin' day. That's a Saturday into Sunday. And then, of course, he's going to need a few hours to sleep. So figure you probably might want to go a little slower. So realistically, it would take like 3 to 5 days to get there. And poor Rusty the cat would be basically losing his mind in a cat carrier for a whole friggin' trip. Yeah, that's a problem. Yeah, nobody wants to see Rusty go crazy. having to sleep, eat, and excrete in a cat carrier for 24 to 48 hours is just a little bit much. And that is a reality. That's a lot to ask. Does it mean it can never happen? No, it just means that it would have to happen in a whole different way. Michelle never mentioned Minnie Manson at all. Minnie Manson even confirmed it. She went back and watched the stream in question and realized that Michelle never said anything about Minnie Manson. So who the heck is blaming Michelle or me for talking about Minnie Manson? Yeah, well, we are doing that. But that's, again, you guys have to understand that for those of you who are unaware of the situation that this is DI, you got to remember that you pretty much do not have a lot of money to work with. So the donations are how we help keep things paid off, so we don't fall behind the debts. But the donations right now, because the economy sucks, are low, and there's nothing I can do about it. Because the reality is, people are trying to rub two nickels together to make ends meet. So that's the reason why donations are off. It's not because Michelle's done anything wrong. It's because people can't afford it. That's just the reality. It's not like if the economy was really going great and people had extra money to spare that they could go, oh, well, you know what? Hey, I got a few extra bucks. I don't care. Have it. But it's not the way it is. No. They're not hiring in many stores in my area. And even if I did have a job at a store, and they're not really hiring, but the transportation is a problem too, because they don't have a car or anyone to take me to work. Well, Michelle does work. She does this YouTube channel. This is how she offsets her expenses. Her channel pays for so many additional expenses of being on YouTube. It's not a lot of money, but it pays the bills. You know, she's established a community of supporters. She does her show Monday through Saturday, 10 a.m. every day. She does a Saturday night Discord show at 7 p.m. and like the last night, and it'll around 11:30, quarter of 12. So that's a pretty strong dedication to what she believes in. Because Michelle doesn't make enough money between her Social Security, disability, and YouTube to pay taxes. Even if she filed a tax return, she would say, you owe nothing. You owe nothing. Would she be able to get an EIC? I don't know about the EIC. I would have to talk to H&R Block. What about depreciation of equipment like Stan CT says? I don't even know where to begin doing that. So we have looked into that tax issue. Anyway, I digress. It's complicated, but that's the truth. Go check it out. Go look at the tax tables. for filing for 2025 taxes. Remember, if you're on Social Security Disability SSDI and you make less than $25,000 a year, you do not pay taxes. Okay? Because you're exempt. Okay? For any amount, any more less than $25,000. Now, Michelle can file single two. The first exemption every American can get, and the second exemption of being blind disabled. Okay? So that means that she would be immune to tax revenue. The income from Social Security, the income from YouTube, would have brought it close to $24,000. But it did not put her over. But I do agree with Stan. If you could figure out how to do equipment depreciation, you could get a tax write-off for your computer hardware as business expenses. It says business expenses, yes, but I don't know how you do that. Let's be honest when I say this. You say the economy sucks because who we voted for. Can I be honest? What would Kamala Harris have given you? Do you think she was going to focus on giving you housing for affordable people? Do you think she was going to create more jobs? Do you think she was going to give more programs, assistance programs for those in need? If you're illegals, sure, absolutely. Illegals, come on in. We'll give you everything. Those born and raised here, sorry, nope, nothing for you. Even though you're disabled, you're an American citizen, you're not likely to vote for Democrat. So, guess what? Nothing for you. Oh, where are the jobs? Let me just agree with you on one thing. One of the biggest mistakes Trump did is with the tariffs. And I'm going to tell you why. He put the cart before the horse. Or in this case, he put the tariff before the jobs. The idea is that if companies have to pay tariffs, they would kind of rush their manufacturing plants back to the United States to save money on tariffs. What he did consider, but unfortunately kind of rushed it half too fast, was that in order to establish plants and equipment here in the United States, building a plant costs money, zoning, architects, everything. Many companies didn't have the resources here, so they would have to have time to build the plant and set up equipment and hire workers. The tariffs, the idea of what tariffs were supposed to do, and were doing for a long time, was for luxury goods from overseas. You like a Mercedes, you pay extra for that Mercedes. You like a BMW, you pay extra for the BMW. And a Volvo, same thing, right? But the problem is, unlike cars, we happen to buy a lot of our consumer goods from overseas because there is no American manufacturer. So therefore, you want light bulbs, you got to pay a tariff. You want your medications, you got to pay a tariff. Although he is working on making medications affordable, he is actually working with some companies to get some things back here to make some medications here. Okay, so that's something he's working on. You want to buy a cell phone, you got to pay a tariff because cell phones are made overseas and they're not made in America except for one, I think, that's made with imported parts that are assembled here. So you get a little bit of a savings on the tariffs, but not much. So because of that, what are you going to do? Do you think Kamala Harris cared about you? Does any politician care about anyone besides themselves? No, they do not. They only care for themselves and their donors because they're so out of touch. It don't matter if you're Republican or Democrat. It is just as it is. They will go out of their way, put out the red carpet for the donors for the campaigns. But when it's the poor, not a damn dime goes for the poor programs. They are left in the cold, and they are. It don't matter if you're Republican or Democrat. It's the same damn problem. Maybe Jill Stein would give more of a damn. But even then, I don't know if she could have done anything as a Green Party candidate, even if she had managed to get in there. What's the point of running a Green Party? You're never going to be president if you have a Green Party. Never. Because the party system is weighed more entirely for Republicans and Democrats. I appreciate her dedication to running for the Green Party, but she's never going to be a presidential candidate. At least not for a long, long, long time. Maybe someday her predecessor or her future Green Party candidates might win, but that's not going to be any time in the near future. Because right now, the parties are only mainly Republicans and Democrats. The only way she could have won is if she could get the major parties to endorse her. And honestly, I don't think that would ever happen. However, Michelle has said, and I agree with her, if I was a presidential candidate, Michelle said, I would hire Jill Stein to be part of my cabinet. She's got a couple good ideas Michelle agrees on. She understands the needs of the people. She was a medical doctor before she got into the Green Party thing. She understands the needs of the economy. She needs to understand of energy. There's nothing wrong with it. Well, we got all kinds here. It's okay. I think we have to look at the reality. The problem with this country is this government has gotten too big, too disconnected from the people that they're supposed to govern. That's the problem. It is not a Republican or Democrat thing. It's the country's too big to properly govern the people thing. Because of all the candidates, the Republicans and Democrats alike, Jill Stein is probably the most down-to-earth as a member of the Green Party. Michelle likes some of the stuff she says. If Michelle was ever president of the United States, she would invite Jill Stein to join her cabinet. Because she has agreed with some of the stuff Jill Stein has said. I do. Yeah. Well, I'm not a strict liberal. I'm not a strict moderate. I'm actually a moderate, just like Michelle is. Michelle's part of the Purple Party. Michelle believes in looking for finding a balance between both. But right now, neither party is listening to the needs of the people. Neither one are. Who's listening to anybody? You ever try to call Congress? You ever tried to get in contact with your senator or House of Representative member? Good luck. They'll take your message and they'll say, sir, Congressman will get back to you when he's free. And then you sit there and wonder why you never get an email or a paper mail message. Because unfortunately, the reality is, unless you are going to be contributing to the campaign, you're not likely to be listened to. That's the problem with political action committees or PACs, or especially super PACs. They are focusing on the money that being into the campaigns. And if you happen to be poor, you're not donating because you don't have it. So to them, you're useless. Yep. That's just a fact. You can't change that. At least not while an existing system, but there is a way to change it. Constitution gives away. We could redesign a whole new government. As specified in the Constitution, meaning such things as this. We can have a constitutional Congress. We can change the way this entire government is laid out. We can break it down smaller segments. Regionalize governments. Like New England, for example, could be, Connecticut, Rhode Island, Massachusetts, Vermont, New Hampshire, and Maine could be one region. New York, Pennsylvania, New Jersey could be another region. North, South Carolina, Virginia, South Virginia, Georgia, Florida could be another region. And so on and so forth. The point is, we break it down into regional governments where the people have regional interests that are very much resonate with each other. That makes sense because the reality is this country is too big and people are not feeling that they're getting fairly represented. That's part of the whole problem. I agree. That would make sense. California, Washington, Oregon, maybe even Nevada. I don't know about Nevada. I don't think Nevada and California have much in common. In fact, I think Arizona and Nevada are more like each other with New Mexico. Nothing wrong with that. Unless we have a constitutional Congress, that's never going to happen, Lum. You know that. Exactly. Never going to happen because no one wants to change shit. It's just a reality. Nobody wants to change nothing. So what I like to ask those that believe in the Democratic right or left, depending on how far left you are. If you're not too far left and you're in more of a moderate, you probably wouldn't understand what I'm going to tell you. What we need to do is we need to have a constitutional Congress. Now we need to sit down, Republicans and Democrats alike, and we need to talk about this on a regional level. And we need to say, guys, this government has gotten too big and it's failing us. We need to change the way it works. But we have to do it within the means given in the United States Constitution. As long as we do the constitutional means, there's not going to be a problem. Other than the reality is, it's not going to be easy to change it. There are always going to be those that go, well, it's worked good for this long. those are probably the ones that support the current system of its inequity and inequality. Inequality. There's the word. Inequality. You're going to support the inequality of America. But that's the reality. Nothing wrong with that. The rich are not going to support this constitutional Congress. Are you crazy? That means they would have to negotiate with a whole bunch of different regional governments to try to get things done. The United States would be united in name only. But I'll tell you, I would say more successfully, it'd be more practical. People in New England don't need the same stuff that the people in Kentucky and Tennessee do. They have different concerns, different issues. People in New York, big state as it is, northern New York, have more in common with northern Pennsylvania. But southern New York and southern Pennsylvania have completely different needs. And don't even get to the Great Lakes states, which includes New York State too. Wisconsin, Michigan, Illinois, Ohio. They have different needs. So therefore, with a regionalized government, you would be able to satisfy the needs of your regional group because you have things in common. So keep that in mind, guys. If you think either party loves the average person, the average John and Jane Doe, the ones that cannot contribute to their campaigns, you're damn wrong. They do not care about what you need or what you feel because you don't put money in their pocket.
Oh, yeah!
And I know that's a disgrace. But Sally and the guys, that's just the reality. How you doing, Nance? So, did you enjoy last night's show? Because me and Michelle had a fun time, and we also did get Grok to generate a full list. As a diagram, a chart of all signs dating other zodiac signs. We will upload that list later on so you can see that. And I think you'll enjoy it. Let's get the panel open here right now before I forget. Let's get the panel open. And select the right window here. Yep, get the right window on the screen. You still defragging the hard drive at the same time? Yep. Oh. Yes, indeed. We are still catching up on the panel. Because you're screen sharing. Yeah, I know. Return me back to show I got it. Yep. Closed captions on. So anyway, we were cleaning out the hard drive this morning, and we found a couple of things that we don't need on hard drive 2. You know what you should do is, why don't we put everything Okay, so it's all set now. So, um, panel link is VAC. VAC. Hello, Noodles. How you doing today? A moose. Famous. And it goes to moose by mistake. VAC moose. You want to come on up? So how are we doing on defragging the hard drive? I didn't look yet. Oh. Right now we're just compressing everything together because so we can do it later on tonight. Smart kid. Yeah, it's almost done. I wasn't. Michelle never talked about Minnie Manson at all. But by the way, thank you for watching the show. We do appreciate you being here anyway. Minnie even came over and watched Michelle's show and says, "Yep, it's true. You did not talk about me. The troll said you did, but I watched the whole show. I watched the chat. Nothing was said about me." And Michelle said, "I never said anything about you. The trolls lied. They didn't tell you the truth." I did have fun. I did fall asleep before the end. I'm old. Well, I think Michelle and me are older than you, but that's okay. It was getting kind of late. We finally went to sleep about 11:30 at night, so. But it's okay. She hasn't been by here in a while, but. Femyaz is a trans woman. We already know that, right? Femyaz is a trans woman. She even uses the pronoun she and they, which is fine. Michelle invited Femyaz to come up on a panel one day. She hasn't gotten back to Michelle yet. Yeah, Minnie said that trolls told her when she was alive and said that Michelle said something about her on her show. And then she went back and watched the video after Michelle said she said nothing about it. And she says, "You're correct. You didn't say anything about it." She said, "But the trolls told me otherwise." So Michelle said, "Well, trolls tend to lie, They're trying to stir a pot. That's what they're doing." We're not talking about Minnie Manson. We're talking about Femyaz. Is it Femyaz? Femyaz, yeah. That's a different person. That's why where the problem's starting. We're talking about a completely different person, and then everybody's saying I'm talking about Minnie Manson. We're not talking about Minnie Manson. Yes, thank you. I glad you brought that up. I'm sorry we didn't say hi to Val. We're so busy trying to talk with the Grok and Gemini. Not associated with Gemini Gem, which that would have been kind of weird if they called their bot Gemini Gem. For you Google. But tell Val 420. I hope that she comes over again. And on my channel, Michelle's channel, we still would love to see her come by. Hi, Zion Dawn. Welcome. You said hi. Stop retracting your messages. Minnie is just another YouTuber just trying to deal with life. Growing up, growing older, just like everybody else. That's all I can say. That's okay. Don't worry about it. Michelle and I both don't take offense to it. We're just trying to answer as best we could. Because if I said any more than that, the trolls would go back to Minnie Manson and start saying things we didn't say. That's totally incorrect. Michelle doesn't even live near Minnie Manson. No, I don't live near Minnie Manson. I don't live near a lot of people. I don't live near Nads. I don't live near Galaxy Eyes. I don't live near Hammer and Nails. I don't live near Chris Bliss. I don't live near. I don't even live near Noodles. You can't afford to live near Noodles. He's too expensive over there. Oh yeah, New Jersey is expensive as hell. No kidding. Have you priced the apartments in even New Jersey? They're way too high. Mm-hmm. No, yeah, we still got to continue on with the Guiding Light episode, which I believe is episode 844. Make sure you get the right episode, Michelle, because if it's 844, remember that you skipped one by mistake. Right, but we already got to the episode where Dr. Bowles has talked to Meta about Chucky's recovery. Yeah, I do. No, because first of all, I don't speak Hebrew. And second of all, I don't have a passport. And Michelle and I don't exactly want to be stuck in the middle of a very hot mess over in Israel, especially right now in Iran. Is basically they already blew up part of with conventional warhead. Basically, blew up part of South Israel. Besides, I don't think a person who's disabled is going to be able to much help. I mean, more than likely than not, we're going to end up getting killed. That's the reality. Israel is no cheaper than America right now, I don't think. Right now, the Middle East is too unstable to be safe for anybody to go to. While Michelle might be able to integrate in with the Jewish community, she probably would have a hard time with some things. Does who rent a car to do a job for Lyft? I don't know if she's Jewish or not. I just know her as a friend of mine, that's all. But you know what? It was a dumb comment. But you can rent if you are working for Lyft or Uber. They do have cars available for your drivers if you don't have your own car. That they can lease to the drivers for their trips. Okay? So even if you don't have your own personal car, as long as you have a good driving record and insurance, you can drive their vehicles. But then you have to subtract the rental price from what you make in your revenue. Rescue me from this cornfield hell. You got a lot of cornfields where you are, Nats? I didn't think that part of your state had a lot of cornfields, but I guess it would make some possible sense. Given the size of the state of Pennsylvania, it's pretty big. Yeah. 15-degree incline, 3.5 miles per hour. That's your walking rate on your treadmill? 15-degree. Okay. Well, maybe someday, Nats, maybe we can go see you somehow. Maybe me, Noodles, Michelle can go over there and say hi to you. And then you could show us your little, your little zoo of different animals and stuff. You know what you could do if you really want to try to cool yourself off, Noodle. Most if your treadmill is water resistant or IP67, is what would happen if you have a simulated rain with a fan blowing on you, i.e., a mister spraying water at you as you're walking on the treadmill. Well, maybe it could be a thing. Why don't you ask Noodles if you could want to do that? If Pennsylvania wasn't too crazy expensive, maybe Michelle might look into it. I don't know anybody other than Nads in Pennsylvania. Oh, I know. I love your idea, Michelle, of simulated walking and blowing simulated rain. I wonder, it might be a little bit wet, but then again, it will cool them off too. It would. But if his treadmill is not water resistant, it would kind of be a problem. Yes, I agree. Oh, yes, Parasolo. Yeah, there's another one. Yeah, Parasolo and Mrs. Parasolo. Yes, they are in Pennsylvania. You know what they're actually doing now, the Pennsylvania Department of Transportation, is they're looking to restore some rail lines for more mass transit routes. Oh, yes, Jantix, too. Yeah, we forgot about Jantix. Yeah, it would be interesting to meet up with Jantix. Yeah, because I think, I'm not sure who Jose Sanders is, but we could help Jantix get her Starlink up. Yeah. Aim the dish where it's got a point and take the signal strength. I used to do that for fun to help my friends out with the satellite dish installs, like the Dish Network and Direct TV. I learned about with Starlink. It's a lot more easy. Yeah. Well, Pennsylvania is a very large state, so you're talking about a lot of areas that are outside of Philadelphia, and you're talking about a lot of areas that are below the Rust Belt. So there's a lot of areas. Right. Yeah, Pennsylvania Dutch. Yeah. You loathe them? I don't know why you would loathe them. They're just people that live a very simple life by their choice. Me and Michelle accept and appreciate what the Amish believe in, for the most part. The beachy Amish are pretty easy to handle. The old order, yeah, they're a challenge. Yes, the old Amish are really hard to deal with. The Mennonites are pretty good, though. Yeah. under all that cotton and wool they wear. Oh yes, they're literally hot, especially in the summer. Those bonnets hold sweat back like a dam. So the wimples on the nun. Exactly, same problem. Just they look like they smell. Yeah, although probably they don't. They have a lot of. They don't wear a lot of cosmetics or fresheners or anything, or perfumes, colognes. They probably smell very plain. You're right. The animal care is definitely definitely not good. You're right about the animal husbandry is terrible. But you know what? What they call the English could live like an Amish. You see, don't forget that. There are people that are what they call English that live like Amish. Same basic way, except that they are not Amish. They don't have the Amish community. They may be Catholic. And they may go to the regular local parish in town, but they have a simple minds in life. They might still drive an Amish buggy, but they're not Amish. Or if they are going to be into more mechanical contrivances, the car may be a very simple car, like an old Ford Escort or a K car. You know, just the basic pond jumper just to get to and from work and stuff. Yeah. Yeah, 612 calories. That's probably what we had for breakfast. Just about 2 bowls of rice chicks. Yeah. Ugh. Or maybe, yeah, maybe an older 1970s Ford Pinto. Basic car, basic life, basic clothing, basic dress. You know, nothing fancy. Well, you realize if you hooked your treadmill up to a generator, and you were over here, as you're walking your treadmill, you could be keeping the live stream going. Or you could do the same thing with your TV. Go ahead, buy a generator. So put it on your exercise bike, the appropriate attachment. Generate, say, 12 to 14 volts. Run a DC power TV. Or even the other one there, the little, what is the other one there? El Camino. The Camino, yeah, that's a little smaller than the Ranchero. Or a little pickup truck. Yeah, you don't need anything fancy. Right. A basic, inexpensive little truck slash car, or just a good old fashioned Pontiac station wagon. The point is, after you can live like an Amish without being Amish. Makes sense, right? Why not? You like the old school life, but you still want to have some of the modern conveniences, even though you're not Amish. What's going to stop you? Maybe you still like having a horse and carriage anyway. You might be Catholic. You might have a horse and carriage and say, screw it, I like it because it's environmentally friendly. Nothing's going to stop you. Yeah, exactly. I mean, the technology is, there's no reason why you can't live like an Amish, but you're not Amish. It's not like the Amish have got a trademark on you have to be wearing black, you have to drive a buggy and a horse. What's going to stop a non Amish person from doing that? Hello, how you doing, David? Yes, good morning to you. Hi. We had a good long show last night, and that was fun. Just to remind everybody that. Uh, and I hope you all enjoyed that show last night. I wanted a station wagon. I wanted like a 1973 station wagon. I miss the station wagon sitting. Oh yeah. Oh, I gotta admit, when you were a kid, you used to sleep. You lay in the back, far back, right? You'd be playing with your Legos as you're driving with your parents, like to Rhode Island. Yeah, that was kind of fun. It was. You'd be able to think of my Legos as we're driving in the car. Why not? It was fun. It was easy. And with a full size station wagon, put the rear seat down, you can carry plywood in it. My dad used to do that for work. I don't really know much about the Yugo or other cars from the former Eastern Bloc or Ladas. I know the Garage 54 works in a lot of Ladas in their projects. Well, so you can find an old hearse. I'm sure some of the funeral homes may have some that they want to sell off. Yeah, maybe because they break a lot. So it seems that the so-called libtards have vaporized. Because we pointed out the truth. It's it's not strictly a Republican or Democrat thing. It's just I remember sitting in the back of my neighbor's station wagon and playing sweet and sour or pulling your arm to get this big rig to honk. That was dangerous and that's a rear ending it literally ending. Oh yeah. I had to beat a horse for like 6 months. Kind of sucks. Yeah, I believe it. It would be very limited application. You're not going to be using it for a lot. Unless you want to carry lots of bags of groceries. Yeah, I guess if you want to carry lots of groceries, I guess it would be okay. And then so would a station wagon. Oh, I'm sure David S would love to have the Munsters version. Oh yeah, I know he would like to have the Munsters version. Yeah, so do we. Yeah, we did here too. Before the nanny state got to us. Before Connecticut got to be too worried about too many things. Uh, absolutely. True. But for most people, is that a big deal? Normally not. Oh yeah, it would. Absolutely. I remember when that monster creature was um vehicle was introduced from the person. Well, what was originally for Eddie or for Herman? I think it was. Let's see. Was I think it was for. I think it was for Herman originally, and Lily saw the hearse, which was I believe a horse, was a basic hearse, and she saw the hot rod, and she said, "What if you combine the two together?" And that's what they did. Great. That's like slamming on the brakes. Your heart's not gonna like you very much. If I bought a hearse, I could park it right in the middle of a cemetery. Paranormal investigations, and nobody would pay any attention to it. That's probably true. You're probably right about that. Kind of quiet today. It's a little bit Sunday. Yeah, I know. Did you put some likes in the like jars, guys? It does help. Let's check. 4 likes? Come on. You did better than that. By the way, how many did you have last night, Michelle? I will check. Give me a second here. Wrong program. That's the. I know. I know. Sorry. Yeah, that's the other screen. We had. Let's see. Last night, this morning, we had content live. Last night, we had 217 views, 17 to 9 likes. That's not bad at all, actually. That's actually pretty good. That's actually been good. That's good for everybody because it works. Yeah, and they just said I know one team of investigators that have 2 hearses that they use to collect haunted objects with and make coffin wood Ouija boards that they sell at conventions. Coffin Ouija boards? That's pretty interesting. I mean, are they full size Ouija boards? Or a full size coffins, or are they just smaller replicas of a coffin? Your sneakers squeaking. I don't know if he's that wet, but yeah, well, a hair dryer would do that too. True. Okay. Oh, I see. I see. Okay, gotcha. All right, that makes some sense. All right, yeah. Um, well, I don't know. I really thought much about making a Ouija boards. We have two Ouija boards. We never used them. They're still here. We never even charged them up. They're still in here. So we have two Ouija boards we never used. Laser cut Ouija boards. You could do that. Coffin is a lot less complicated than making a casket, which is much more work to make. There is a difference between the two. Coffin is usually a lot less complicated. Basic coffin is basically a pine box, generally human shape with heavy rope handles for the pallbearers to pick up. And a matching lid that screws down. Exactly. How you doing again? The other Leo of the group, AK88. The other Leo of the group, next to Neds. M60 is a Leo as well, by the way. I don't see M60 around though. I have two Ouija boards. One is mounted behind the olive lamp. Okay. Well, like I said, we have two, but they're not used. We never charged up with anything. Originally, we got the second one by mistake. Somebody originally had planned to send us one, and somehow Amazon ended up sending us two. That's very true. We got two. That's how we ended up with two. Yeah, let me just kind of rub my ears here a little bit. Yeah. Oh. There we go. Just gotta give my ears breathing room. Okay, so one thing about this channel is we don't have a lot of cancers. I think we have like two. Well, if we include Oh, we have two. We have two Capricorns, maybe three. Um, well, that would be kind of hard to guarantee that someone's not subconsciously moving the cursor, the planchette, I should call it. Yeah. Ouija boards, Michelle said she found out that with the two Ouija boards, she can use them in ways that's reverse the way they're usually used. In other words, she can use it to communicate with the spirits, i.e., she can move the planchette around herself, and so she could be sending messages to the spiritual realm. And that was kind of interesting when she did that with the one, because it was like some of the spirits are getting a little annoyed. Yeah. It's also time consuming too, because you got to move the thing around, you know, and to spell messages out in the spiritual realm. And but I did test that idea. The only thing is there's no punctuation characters. So if I was to design a Ouija board, I would have punctuation characters, periods, commas, exclamation points. I might leave out the quotes because no one really uses quotes. It'll be interesting to see, Michelle, what you just suggested. Is you're right. They should make a Ouija board pronunciation marks and even space symbols. Yeah, because otherwise all the characters just run together. I mean, for some spirits, they might have enough energy that they could easily want to add spaces and say, instead of just run letters together. So I know. I demonstrated this on my YouTube channel, which was like when I actually generated the messages, like I said, some of the spiritual realm kind of got annoyed with me. It's like, stop faffing around. Just say what you got to say. Well, we didn't even fully charge it up. It was just more like, I was just kidding around. But some of the spirits on the other side kind of got annoyed with me. He said, don't bother. Just speak your intentions. It's faster anyway. Maybe those people in the paranormal field might want to try that. You might enjoy to see what kind of spirits talk to you. You talk to them on the Ouija board. Or if you got two Ouija boards, you could have one for send and one for receive. That's kind of ridiculous. It's like saying I have to have two radios, one to receive, one to transmit. Yeah. Well, your phone has a handset, right? With an earpiece and a microphone. That's a phone. I bet a paranormal community, they probably someone came up with a way of modifying a handset for a phone to act as a communications device. How it would work, I don't know. Yeah, and then they'll charge you a big top dollar for the thing. There's a lot of stuff in this paranormal field that can be kind of questionable. I just got my new MJ card in the mail. What's an MJ card? I have a few friends that used him on investigations. My team doesn't use him. Yeah. Oh, okay. I get it. All right, cool. That means at this point now you have to surrender any firearms you have. You can't have firearms in that card at the same time. All right, someone wants to come up now. Hold on a minute, please. I gotta get over there. Whoa, 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 whoa. There you go. Show it on the screen. There's Noodles. Go ahead, Noodles. How you doing?
Hey, Lumi, how are you?
Doing all right?
Hold on for a second. Let me switch over to my speaker. So I got word that you were talking about dismantling the United States for something.
I was talking about how the government we need to do a constitutional Congress and maybe design the United States more to regional governments instead of being one big, large, cohesive mess that it is now.
You know, I had a theory. I'm sorry, I had a dream, and then I was like, oh, you know what? What if we can all vote for whoever we want? So, for instance, let's say there's two parties or three parties. And let's say Lumi wants to vote for this one guy named Red. I want to vote for a guy named Blue. Nads wants to vote for a guy named Yellow, right? And we can all vote for that, and that's how our lives would be run. Like we would have to abide by those laws, and we would receive those benefits from those representatives. So, for instance, let's say my representative didn't want free trade with this country. Well, if the yellow guy did, and he made so much money from those trades, Nads would benefit from it, and not me. Nads would get a tax rebate, or maybe blah blah blah, whatever. Do you think that would work?
What we were suggesting is more of a regionalized government system. For example, New York, New Jersey, could be one, and maybe even parts of Delaware, Maryland could be one government entity. New England would be another one. The Great Lakes states could be another one, because states that are more common in viewpoints would have their own government, their own regional governments.
Right, but like back in the day, like didn't it work like this where if you had to vote to go to war? So let's say
Back when this country was first created, our
so
situation was a lot simpler than it is now. The
right, so if
modern
you voted
American
to go to
government has
war,
gotten so big that you don't really get much representation anymore. You don't, and you know it, right?
right, but let's say you can vote for a party like a red party, a blue party, and a green party or a yellow party. And based on how those parties ran the government, they would be segregated, and the people that on paper who voted for those parties would receive the benefits that those parties garnered.
I think it would be a lot easier to just make a regional governments and trying to have individual parties, because that might be something more gridlock and complications than it's worth. But if you
Well, I
look
mean,
at, for example, New England, there's a very common New England feel that is between Connecticut, Rhode Island, Massachusetts, Maine, New Hampshire, and Vermont. Those states have a certain feel to them, a certain expectations in our government. Whereas the people in New York, New Jersey, maybe even Delaware, have different feels of what they want to see in government.
Yeah, Michelle, I understand that, but what I'm trying to get at is like all Americans here, but we're represented by a certain party. How about that? So on your driver's license, if you went to a different state, you're being represented by a different party, which means that you would have to obey certain laws.
If you go to a different state, yeah, you would be in a different regional area.
Right. So why can't we just do this? Why can't we just all like let's say you wanted to vote for Obama to rule to run your life or to represent you, we can do that. If I wanted to have Trump represent me, I could have Trump represent me.
Well, I would say is realistically what would happen is this. If you, in your case, you live in New Jersey and you move to, say, Pennsylvania, you would go on, you'll be in the Pennsylvania regional government area. So the regional government laws of Pennsylvania would apply to you because you now moved to the Pennsylvania area.
No, Michelle. I'm talking about you as an individual would be
Right. Well, you're
ruled.
also talking to Lumi. You're not talking to Michelle right now.
Oh, sorry.
Okay. What do you think, Michelle? I think your way, Michelle Lumi, makes more sense than trying to go through his way because his way sounds like it's more of a gonna be more complication than it's worth.
Well, I mean, Michelle, if you're talking about a country being divided, how do you keep it together? You just allow certain people to, you know, to get their way, and
Because
if
as it is right now, is you're not really getting fair representation in Congress.
I'm saying so, we can all get fair representation if we chose to pick a certain representative to represent us. I mean, right? I mean, like half the country is already divided. So what if Kamala Harris, right,
You
said,
kind of do
"Hey,
that
listen,
now when you go to the polls, right? Yes, when you vote for the people of the parties that you want. For
no.
example,
What I'm saying is like if I'm a blue guy, right, the red guy stuff would not affect me or my life."
well, that's not the way it works, though. I mean, yeah, I see what you're trying to say, but like I said, I got a feeling it will only create more discord than anything because of the way the systems works. Yeah, I think that would make more problems. Take a look at Bulgaria. I'm just going to use Bulgaria for example. Bulgaria's got 18 parties. Do you realize when they all go to Sofia, which is their capital, Bulgaria now, right? They go into their parliament. You have all these 18 parties representing all the people of Bulgaria. It's a mess. This is what George Washington was afraid of with America. He didn't want to have the United States be subdivided into parties like that. He wanted basically each person to be represent no particular party affiliation. But that didn't happen. No.
But that's when everyone was white and Christian, Michelle. Now we don't have that.
Yeah, I know we don't. That's also another reason why I think we need to have it where it's regionalized governments instead, because then you have, for example, like in the South, okay, in the deep South, Florida, Georgia, North Virginia, West Virginia, Alabama, Mississippi, okay, Tennessee, Maryland's kind of in the middle, so let's say Maryland, southeast, right? They could be a region. Then you have the Southwest region, and you have Texas. Texas pretty much could be its own region. Texas used to be its own state. Yeah, it used to be its own country. California, this probably would be likely to be going with Washington State, Oregon, and possibly Nevada as its own regional area. Because the fact is they have common viewpoints.
Yeah, I get that, Michelle. I'm just saying that a lot of people feel like they're not being represented, and if you want to be represented by someone,
You're
right?
absolutely not being represented. You're not.
Okay, so if you want to be represented by Kamala Harris, you can vote have Kamala Harris run your life. I don't know. I don't see the big deal. Like have her run your life
Let me
if
ask you a
it
question. If Michelle was president of the United States, I know, good luck. Okay, well, let's just say she was. What would you say if Michelle had Jill Stein as the Department of Energy Secretary?
Michelle, I don't know. But my point is that right now people don't want certain people running their lives, and why don't you put your money where your mouth is and have Kamala Harris run your life and tell you what to do and hand out your money and all that stuff and see
Yeah,
who
yeah.
prospers better.
Yeah, that's a real thing. I mean, that's what the Democrats want, right? They want you to be regulated by a central government authority,
Yeah.
and that's kind of a for most people that are more of believe in being self governed. They're not going to want that. No, because it sucks. Yeah, it sucks. Yeah, it does. You know, because when you have someone else run your life for you, you don't have any freedoms. You'll lose your freedoms.
Well,
You forfeit
name one
those.
name one thing that the federal government doesn't tell you what to do. Name one thing. You rely on the federal government, Michelle. You rely on state government, federal government, just to eat.
True. That's why they give you food stamps.
Right. So you would side with the party that would give out more food stamps. That's my point.
Yes, but the only one thing. It's still coming from the United States Department of Agriculture. And the limits will
Well,
be set by the USDA, not by the congressional group.
right.
See,
So you would have to have a representative that would make sure that you get fed every month. And if you didn't, tough shit.
yeah. Let me ask you a question. Why can't the Democrats ever find a candidate that's got half a brain, that's not drunk, isn't Alzheimer's, and basically knows what the hell they're doing? The last one of that category was Jimmy Carter. Michelle does like him a little bit. He wasn't bad. He just couldn't handle it. It was just too much to handle for the poor governor of Georgia.
What about Bill Clinton?
No, not with. I don't think so. Bill Clinton, no. I don't think he did a good job either. But what I'm saying is, I mean, I do swing vote once in a while. But what I'm saying is, why can't you guys come up with a candidate that people would feel comfortable with from both parties? There's
Because
gotta,
the parties have become radicalized, Lumi.
yeah, it's all radicalizing. That's part of the problem. But
Do you
right
know,
now, what the American people need is they need a moderate in the middle that can look at things from both sides.
Lumi, do you know that the average public school student, they require $20,000 each year to be taught properly, to be fed properly, to have all these things, books, whatever. $20,000 a year.
Right.
All right. Now that I forgot how much that is in taxpayer, government grants, whatever, but I think if you took all the transgender children in the country, I think it would only cost $140 million to educate each transgender child properly. Why doesn't the LGBTQ take the hundreds of millions of dollars they receive each year just from Wells Fargo alone and create their own schools?
Yeah, well, public education is kind of expensive. Why don't we compare it with something
It's
that's
$20,000 per child, 20
right?
grand per
How
child.
much is it to send into a private school? And I'm
Michelle,
not talking about no Ivy League. I'm talking about just a good quality private school.
Michelle, again, Wells Fargo can donate their $140 million each year to the LGBTQ, and that will pay for each child to go to an LGBTQ school. Then you can charge the parents extra money to send them to a private school.
Or actually, if I remember how this was going to work, under the voucher system, you could be able to send the child to the school of your choice.
My point is that people, I don't understand why everything is not a la carte. There's enough money out there to do this. And the LGBTQ wants you, the taxpayer, to pay for these children, to pay for this,
Conversions and
whatever
stuff.
bullshit to be indoctrinated into these schools.
Well, like Cameron said, the public school system in this country is a disgrace anyway. Why can't we give our kids a good quality education? Because good education, and we're talking about real education, costs money. And the Department of Education are trying to save money at the expense of the quality of the students' quality of education.
Wells Fargo has been donating to the LGBTQ, and this is one financial group. The LGBTQ alone, Wells Fargo, since 2006. And each year, they receive hundreds of millions of dollars from Wells Fargo alone. That's not including initiatives, all that other crap.
Well, I think the problem in this country is the way education is done is kind of stupid. State schools, as they call them in the UK, which is what we call public schools, are not really working out as well as you would think. In fact, state schools in the UK don't work out that well either. They're considered the lowest cost education you can get. If you really truly believe in your child's education, you go into private school, because that's the ones that they call public, which means they open to the public, but they are...
You know why they don't create their own schools, Michelle? Or Lumi? Because they would be teaching a bunch of mentally ill children, and they would need a lot more than just $140 million a year.
Here's the deal. If you have your own private school and parents are paying tuition for your kids to go there, your parents are going to want to make sure that their kids are getting their money's worth. Public school doesn't care about that. They're more worried about the unions than anything. They're not worried about your kids' education. They're really not. And besides that, the public school system in the United States, in many cases, is nothing more than a propaganda machine. Probably not. Sorry, no, I'm not gonna go with Chuck Norris science. That's not.
That might be pretty cool.
So, I mean, the thing is that if parents have more or paying more directly to educate their children, I think they're going to take more initiative to make sure that they're getting their money's worth of education for the kids. Instead of just paying the local Department of Education's taxes, where they have no control through the Department of Education in that town. That's what happens when a public school system in the United States, the state schools in the UK. They don't get that much ability to reach out to talk to the Department of Education and say, look, I don't like what you teach my kids. This is stupid.
All right, well, my point is that the LGBTQ kids out there, you realize that you don't have to go to public school and have to be bullied every day. You can go to an LGBTQ school.
If you can pass,
but the LGBTQ doesn't want to pay for it.
Testing. If you can get better scores on your SATs and your other standardized tests than you can in a public school, that's good for parents. It's good for the kids.
Michelle, I was segregated in school when I was in special education. I don't know if you know that.
I had my foot in both doors. Thank you very much. So I know both the special ed system and the regular system. I'll tell you right now, special ed while you're still in state school is no different. In fact, in some cases, you might get some additional benefits. Not much. You didn't get that much. I didn't get that much. But the thing is, if you went to a private school that taught specifically the skills you needed, i.e., for example, like a school for the blind or a school for the deaf, you come out of there with the things you need to do things. Okay, for a school for LGBTQ, I don't know what they would teach to be different than the standard school, but the point is, if your parents are willing, especially with something called educational vouchers, to send you to a school that, one, focuses on giving you a better chance at a good education to pass the standardized testing, there's nothing wrong with that.
Lumi, why are people going on TikTok and putting a picture of my ex-girlfriend up there and calling the account the hooker? And then viewing my channel and stalking my channel, Michelle. The hooker? Have you seen this?
I have no idea, but why is Minnie Manson allegedly thinking that Michelle is talking bad about them? When
Minnie
Michelle
Manson
has never
is a
said
faggot.
anything about Minnie Manson.
Minnie Manson, we challenge you to a fight. Me and Michelle.
Well, keep me
We
out
challenge
of it.
you to a
Keep me
fucking
out of
fight.
it. I still haven't heard back from Femyaz yet either.
Yeah.
Just keep me out of that. I don't really want to pick sides anywhere with anyone. I just want to try to open up dialogue with either one. Both of them, actually.
Yeah, but wouldn't you just like to punch Minnie Manson right in the fucking jaw? Right in the nose, Lumi?
No, I don't see any. I don't see any reason to be violent to anyone. I don't have any reason to be. But here's the thing. I want to get back to what we were talking about education. There's one thing that the UK education system's got right, and that's this: when your parents pay to send you to school, they call them public schools, but they're not. They're private schools. Yes, you do have state schools too, but you are going to your school. You take your standardized testing is going to determine where you belong. Your GCSEs will determine where you're going to go, what your future is based on your aptitude and skill set. And then you do your A levels before you go to university. And then, of course, universities are free for UK citizens. Why can't we have free universities in the United States? Because it costs money and Americans don't want to give anything for free. Yeah.
Sorry, I'm laughing at a comment that best tennis player sent me on one of my my posts.
Yeah.
BTP. BTP. Sorry.
Well, you know what? Michelle's right.
Michelle. Johnny What's calling. Hold on.
Let's see, how are we doing on the defragging in the hard drive? I think it's almost done. I know, I'm just compressing everything down, mushing it all down. So you're not actually archiving anything. Nope. Just mushing my files down. Looks like you're almost done. Yeah. Didn't get very much of a mush, did you? No. I still think, and Lumi and I agree on this, is that American education system, our public schools, our slash, as the UK calls them, state schools, are stupid. They don't. It's controlled by the Department of Education in cities and towns that are concerned more about money than they are concerned about education quality.
Lumi, Johnny, what needs me to pick him up ASAP from the St. Patrick's Day parade in Pearl River, New York. Michelle, he's wasted.
At Pearl River, New York. How far
Yeah,
away is that?
it's about like 15 minutes away.
Oh, at least he didn't go ahead and go all the way up to Poughkeepsie.
No,
uh,
you want to go? Want to go see the parade?
no, I'm not interested.
No, I mean like
We
you want
have
me to
get
go
ready
on
for
live.
Silver Moon tonight at 7 o'clock too.
Oh, what time are you ending this?
Yep. So
I said, what time are you ending this, bimbo?
Silver Moon Radio starts at 7.
You know, what time are you ending this live stream?
We're ending the show in about 5 minutes.
Oh, okay. All right.
So, because we got to get ready to put our dinner in the oven, Michelle's got records all set to go. Yeah, but I got to get all the shows organized for the old time radio segment. Yeah. And make sure you play the Guiding Light episode so we don't end up re-looping
Hey.
on top of everything else.
Hey, Michelle, let me ask you a question. Why does it sound like Lumi has a humongous pair of balls when she talks? She talks like this.
Well, because technically I'm more of a masculine spirit than Michelle is. That's why.
Oh.
Yeah. So that's why.
Is there any chance of getting a maybe an even more masculine spirit in your body? Like a Barry White or something like that?
I don't think so. That's not going to happen. No.
What about a black man? I mean, can we get a black man to like somehow take over your body or soul?
Why don't you see you can try to get a black woman to take over yours?
No, because I think it would just be funny if a black spirit entered your body and you talk all this jive turkey bullshit, you know, like, oh baby, no, you know, like, let me ask you a question. And Jimmy Jam Flam, you know.
Well, maybe if Mimi knows Femias, maybe she can encourage Femias to actually return her email. That would be interesting. Femias hasn't verified you on her survey yet. No, it hasn't visited ours either, as far as I know.
No, Minnie Manson.
How many spirits can you open your body one time? Realistically? Let's put it this way. Carmen sleeps on the couch. I have my room. Michelle has her room. There's really no room for a spare to stay there as a full-time resident. Sometimes we have guests that come over, but they're pretty rare. Usually it's just the three of us. Carmen's at work right now, so she's not here at this moment.
I just spent time with my family. I just did my taxes, asshole.
Why does Michelle spend so many holidays with Michelle instead of family?
Because I don't celebrate those holidays, asshole.
I like your answer, Ned. That's pretty much accurate because Michelle is family. In a way,
Like,
yes.
like how do I you know, I gotta explain this to you guys, all right? I don't spend one day giving thanks. I give thanks every day. I don't worship Jesus Christ or give thanks to Jesus Christ on his birthday. I do it every fucking day. I'm not gonna pick out one goddamn day to do these things. Michelle does. And that's a good enough excuse to, you know, she holds it in high regards and it makes her feel good when people are with her. What do you want me to tell you? And by the way, my father doesn't want her over on Thanksgiving or Christmas. I already asked.
You know, don't forget too is that I have a different faith Parthenon than Noodles does. My faith system is very different than his. Mine is more of a pantheism, or his is more of a monotheistic faith system.
No, I might have a CPA in the family that does everything, Krusty. It's just I try to, you know, plus I'm part of a conglomerate, so I gotta do it like that.
Yeah.
And you want to know something? Maybe Michelle doesn't want to spend time with her family. Maybe she wants to spend it with friends.
Yeah, that's what I usually do.
And to be honest with you, Michelle did spend time with her family for Christmas. Her mother came over.
Yeah, she
So
did.
what are you talking about?
But my mother never invited me to go over there for Christmas either. So
Don't
I
worry
asked
about it,
her.
Michelle.
She said,
Don't worry about
"Nah."
it. Because she wanted you to bring a man with you, and I'll be your date if you want to go. Oh no, she didn't. She
I
wanted
didn't
you to
think
bring a
about
woman.
bringing a date. I just asked her, and
How
she
about
did
how
say,
about Michelle? Listen, how about we do this? Next Christmas, we put your hair in a ponytail. We get you a nice suit jacket and blazer, get you all dressed up, and you walk in your parents' house like Rodney Dangerfield, and everything's good. Just
"No,
take off
for
the elf
God's
ears.
sakes, no, 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 no." Besides, my mom knows what I look like anyway. She's like, she's starting to accept me a little more for who I am now, which is good. Yeah, it's little baby steps. Her mother doesn't pick at her as much anymore. I think my mom realizes that I am as I am, just like Popeye says, I am as I am, as I am, as I am, as I am. Yeah, I'm not going to change. It's just me. Your life is so basic. Surely it wasn't all. Was
No, my
it's a
wealth
waste of time to
is
not just
intertwined with
spend.
other wealth. You don't get it. You don't understand.
Well, I can't speak for Noodle's taxes. I am not his tax preparation person, so I
My
don't.
wealth is intertwined with other wealth. It gets more complicated as the years go by.
Well, I don't know if Noodles has got additional things in addition to dividends and stock options or anything like that. I don't know Noodles' taxes. I don't deal his taxes. You know,
Michelle, can you give us like your best like I get no respect, like Rodney Dangerfield?
I could do that. I could do the yeah. I could do something like that. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I ain't got no respect for nobody. I know that sounds like jabber but
So can we dress you up like a boy one year for Christmas and bring you or a man?
no, 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 no. You mean ho ho ho? No, no, no. No, absolutely
Michelle,
not.
just one Christmas and we'll go over to your parents and everything will be fine. And then you come back and take off the suit and everything and just put the dress back on.
You know, we're very lucky that Michelle's mother is starting to accept her as she is. That's what I'm very happy to see. Even if it is grudgingly, I think that's a good thing. Yes, it is. Good
We don't
morning,
share
champ
anything,
afternoon.
Krusty.
How you doing,
We
champ?
don't share any donations, Krusty. Let me tell you something, Krusty. You want to know what I got, Krusty, in donations? I got $88 for gas for this upcoming event. All right.
Yes,
Now
by the
when I
way,
receive that fucking money, that's gonna be 40 something bucks. All right.
Brian
I gotta
PC did
drive to Connecticut.
confirm that he
Michelle,
did. Go ahead.
I gotta drive to Connecticut.
Right,
All the way back down to Jersey. And then
right.
back to Connecticut. How am I making a goddamn dime?
Yes, but Brian PC did confirm that he did give you gas money.
Yes, but Michelle, my point is that these people see the super chats and they say, "Oh my god, you got $100." Yeah, I did. That's great and everything, but when I receive it, it's only 50.
And the price of gasoline's going up. It's almost $4 a gallon in my area right now.
These people are so goddamn jealous of donations and this and that, and you know, again, they're following me on TikTok. By the way, I'm blowing up on TikTok. They're following me on TikTok, wanting to know what is he up to. Let me make fun of his ex-girlfriend by calling her the hooker, and I'll stalk his page. You got blocked, by the way, bitch. You got fucking blocked. And of course, the E popping her head back up and being like, "Hey, Davy, hey, Davy." Girls are back in my life. E's back in my life. Cassandra's back in my life. Bianca Dupree's back in my life. Get over it.
Yeah. Well, the thing is I don't want to end the show in a bad light either. So how do we keep things positive? Um, But first of all, like I said, Michelle said it, I'm going to say it too. We do thank all the people who have donated to make these trips possible.
Oh, yeah!
Everybody who has come out there and helped out as best you can, and especially in this tough economy, we understand your lives are hard. You got to deal with your own family issues. Every time you donate, it helps you, but we don't want to demand anything out of you. That's not fair either. But we want to say thank you for the donations that we have received for making these things possible.
Oh, yeah!
Hell yeah! Hell yeah! And stop being jealous. Stop being jealous.
If you are jealous of what we do, you have the same ability, the same means to do it. You may have to start small. You got a phone. You use your phone to do your videos. You get your viewers together. You establish a routine. You do a morning show Monday through Saturday.
Lumi, they're not interesting people. They're losers.
I know they're envious, which is different than jealous, because envious people don't want or cannot. Where jealous people can but don't choose to. If you're in the cannot category and you really legitimately cannot do it, then maybe you need to look at what you are able to do and find something that works for you. If you're jealous because you do not want to put the work in, that's your problem. That's not ours. We didn't do anything
Go
wrong.
blow a dog, Cuddy. Go suck off a dog, loser. Sorry. No, random. Go give a cat a bath, loser.
Yeah. How you doing, Gaming Fairy? Welcome to the show today. Not a lot. I just have been spending time off the net this weekend as much as I can. Yeah. We have been kind of doing our own little thing too. Watching a lot of YouTube stories on the phone. Yeah, just trying to chill. Yeah. Last night's show was fun. We have given it to Grok, and Grok was kind of enjoying reading it, watching it too. And we were talking about where the show was going. And even Grok said that the show was very entertaining from last night.
You know what? You know what I remember vaguely when I was a child? Because I always think about this, Michelle. I always think about like what I remember when I was a kid, like how far back I can remember. I remember my mother washing my hair in the sink as a baby. Do you remember that? Remember when your mother? I don't know how your mother would do it. My mother would lather up my beautiful hair.
Not that far back, but I know
and
when
she put my head under the sink.
was young, like 5 or 6, she would wash my hair in the bathtub.
Yeah. Like, all right,
actually,
close
I
your
do remember my
eyes.
mom sometimes washed my. I was young and she washed my. It was not as a baby, but it's like a 3-year-old. She would wash my hair in the sink.
Yeah, that's what I meant. Yeah.
But then my mother also realized I might as well give Michelle a bath at the same time. So usually you just did it in the tub.
That was before I got old and stinky and smelly.
Nobody wanted to be stinky and smelly, especially when you're always running around, crawling around in the dirt, for God's sakes. Yeah. Used to crawl in the dirt. Used to do a lot of dirty stuff. You still do dirty stuff as an adult. You're always crawling around, working on shit. Yep. Oh, yes. By the way, I got the clips I need for the cables. It's the standard cable clips. These.
Does anyone remember the last time their parents gave them a bath? I kind of remember that. I remember my mother telling me, no, you're going to have to do it yourself now.
I don't remember remember that. I don't remember when my mom stopped doing that. No.
What? Flat Top Stallone? Really, Flat Top Stallone? You scumbag! You know, Michelle, I don't know if you noticed, but like Red stopped live streaming. Did you know that? Did you know he just gave up? You want to know why? Because
You know
only
why?
one
Because he
person will
said
be
his
watching his
viewer,
show.
the viewer requirement of 59 years. So who was watching him? Really? You said your subscription requirement of 59 years. Who's gonna watch you?
His gang of retards, I think, started drinking again and couldn't make it to the show. You know what I mean? His gang of alcoholic retards.
Yeah. No, I know our show is. Last night we saw Val came by again, which I'm very happy Val came by. I'm sorry I didn't say hi to Val when she was there.
Well, I mean, you didn't know, Michelle. You could always reach out. You know what you should do, Michelle? Go to Val's channel and go in the comments section and be like, "Hey, listen, I really
I don't know
appreciated
what
that."
her channel name is.
Val 420.
Val. All
I'll
right.
say I'll send you the link on text.
Okay, you send me a link, and then cause
Yeah.
that way I could always scroll back and look it up too. Because I was watching some of last night's replay. Yeah.
Yeah. Or you
And-
can do a special. You can do a special video for her, being like how much you appreciated her doing that. She's nice to you, Michelle. She's a good person.
yeah, I know she is.
Plus, she's an artist too, which is kind of cool.
And M60 is a good person too. And Leo, he is or Naz, he's a Leo as well.
Yes. M sexy, Michelle. M sexy. I don't know if you've
Yes,
seen
he
those
is.
live streams, Michelle. That
He's well.
unbuttoned
He's
shirt.
well. He's well manscaped. Absolutely.
Yes. Yes. And he's on prep.
Yeah.
He's all prepped up.
Yep. He's just good. He's smart and educated. Knows what he's doing. Well, books still exist. They didn't stop making books. That's true. They never stopped making books. You can still buy books. My eyes have a hard time reading books too much because of the my vision, but I still read books once in a while.
Lumi, have you seen the video of the Hershey bar that's basically slime? Have you seen that?
No, I
You
haven't.
should look that up. So Hershey's is fucked up, and I don't know how they fucked this up, but supposedly their Hershey candy bars are coming out slimy now.
I think they're sensitive to heat. I think that's what it is. I think that they're doing a terrible job of tempering the chocolate.
Possibly.
But then again, don't forget too, Hershey's chocolate tastes like crap anyway.
Does it really? I think I'm gonna buy myself a Hershey's chocolate bar.
I like
tonight.
Nestle chocolate. Yeah.
But what about the Hershey chocolate bar with the almonds in it?
It's kind of offsets the terrible taste, but
Really?
I still think Nestle makes a better one, and I still think Cadbury makes a better one. Yeah, but United States,
Okay.
Cadbury's made by Hershey. I know.
Hey, Lumi, check this out. We're gonna go into Johnny What's car. You want to see Johnny What's car?
What's that?
You want to see Johnny What's car? We're gonna go into Johnny What's car.
Yeah, you want to see what his car looks like?
Yeah.
Guess we can look at it real quick. Yeah, I've seen it before. There it is. It's a great thing.
Wait, hold on. Johnny What's calling. Hold on.
Okay. We're gonna get started for the show. Yeah, we gotta. No, it's just some chocolates I just absolutely hate.
Sorry about that. All right, Michelle. Full effect. Full effect. I'm back up. We're gonna get into Johnny What's Whip. Here it is.
Yeah.
You want to bring me up full screen, Michelle?
It's just a basic sedan. There's nothing.
Yeah, but you want to bring me up full screen so everyone can see, because people want to see it, Michelle.
Oh, hold on a minute. Let's see if I can get that on the screen here. Yeah, there it is.
Look at this. We
Now
only
turn your phone 90 degrees so they can see the whole length of the thing.
All right, hold on. Look at this whip. Look at this.
It's just a basic car. It's a pond jumper. That's just a base. It's just a basic man's car.
Yep. Got tape. You got this car for $300. Let's start this bitch up. Let's start this bitch up right now.
Well, as long as it runs, that's all that matters, right?
Hell yeah! Started right up. Right up.
I can't make it any bigger than this, guys. This is as big as it gets. Unless I... Oh, yes, I can make it a little bit bigger. Hold on. Actually, I can't.
Let's put this sucker in the drive, and let's hit the road. Hell yeah. Johnny What's car. Woo! Hell yeah. Look at this smooth-ass ride, Michelle. This is a smooth-ass ride. Hell yeah. Hell yeah. Very smooth. Very, very smooth. Look at this. Oh, hell yeah. Woo!
Well, as long as it does what it's supposed to do, that's what counts, right?
Yep. Very, very smooth. Stops great. Everything like that. $300. $300 for this fucking thing. Believe it? 300 fat ones.
That's not bad, though. You can't find too many of those in Connecticut. No.
Yeah. I would buy one of these for $300. I'd drive this thing to fucking work.
Sure, your tax and your insurance will be lower too.
Well, yeah, that's true.
That would be good for you.
Now that I got that 5-point ticket on my driver's license.
Yes, I heard about those point system in England or in New York. You get too many points and they take your license away.
Yep.
How many points is it to take away your license these days? Is it 10 or 5?
I think it's like 12.
Oh, jeez. How long before the points go away? 5 years, something like that?
Like 3 years.
Okay.
You gotta take some. Still, I mean, fuck them. I don't give a shit. You know, I'll drive dirty if I have to.
What kind of car would you buy for $300? What would the Postomobile be like? What would you be looking for?
A 1998 Toyota Corolla with 116,000 miles. This car has less miles than my car.
Yeah.
Realize that? The car's like 30 years old.
There you go. So what kind of car would be the Postomobile?
Toyota Corolla. Toyota Corolla.
I can see Needles having a nice, inexpensive Ford Taurus or something.
Ford Taurus. Like the RoboCop police car?
Yeah.
From the 80s? Yeah.
Yeah, in Japan, they use the Toyotas for police cars. Yep. Yeah, it says basic beater cars are the best.
Well, find me one, because I'm sick and tired of paying this fucking exuberant amount of bills on a fucking, fucking shit, man.
Yeah. But I think it would be kind of hard to sleep in that.
God damn it. Toyota Corolla in the house.
This is a basic car. I'll get you there. Get you home.
Michelle, what's your favorite ride? Like, what was the favorite, most like
If I had a
luxurious?
car, I would buy myself a nice station wagon. An original 1973 Pontiac station wagon or one of the Lord's Ford station wagons. The big beasts. Oh, yeah. But I'd put my steering wheel on the right side. Oh, jeez.
You would do it on the right side?
Yeah.
Oh,
Because I dare to be different. Oh, I still love the station wagon idea. We had one like that. Yeah, you had a big boat there. Your parents had that station wagon. It was great because you could sleep, you could play with Legos in the back. You could do your way back. And some of them had seats. My mom and dad didn't have another set of row of seats, but some of them did. You could flip open the rear back, another set of seats in the back. Ours just had a spare tire and a jack. That's true. Yeah. Anyway, see what, noodles. We're gonna get ready to head out to get ready for some dinner and get the show ready for tonight for Silver Moon.
hey, Lumi, you have a great night.
You too.
Take care of yourself.
Yeah. Stay
I'm the best.
All right.
I'm the best.
By the way, tell Brian PC thanks for the fuel money because he did give you some.
Thanks, Brian. Hell yeah. Bye. Love you.
Yeah. So that's a good thing. I'm not mad at Brian PC for the donation either. I'm really thankful actually that he did donate money for the fuel because it is going to be very expensive. And yes, indeed. So thank you very much for Brian PC for the donations for transportation.
Oh, yeah!
Yeah, that's just it. I had V8 engines in those things, didn't they? Gas guzzlers. They could pull a motor home. Or they could pull a mobile home, like a travel trailer. Large travel trailer, depending on the transmission. Oh, yes. Yeah. They were built for it. They're almost like built on a bus frame. Absolutely. By the way, we were talking to ChatGPT. We're going to be just quick because there's not much to say. ChatGPT agreed with Michelle's plans are. They said it makes sense. Pay off the teeth. June, July, whatever. Go ahead and get yourself your ultimate setup for the solar panel. But they said that the problem is that the cost of the tariffs are going to send the prices higher for solar panels and batteries. So there is kind of a bit of a reason to kind of hurry up and get it done. But we all agree the teeth have to get done first. Absolutely. Those are going back up for my appointment again. I think it's on the 29th or 30th. Yep. Gremlin's an interesting looking car. I don't know what you would describe Gremlin like. It's kind of an interesting shape. The AMC line of cars are all kind of interesting shapes. Yep. They certainly were. All right, guys, let's get the blessings in right now. Everybody, you want to start, Loom? Absolutely. It's my channel. May all you guys have a happy, safe day. Stay out of trouble. Don't forget Silver Moon tonight at 7 o'clock on Kick and Twitch. We love you. Oh, yes. By the way, the cat's here, too. Let's give the kitty cat some attention. Poor Risty really hasn't had a chance to talk to you guys lately.
Oh, yeah!
It's him right here. Yeah, absolutely. The big old kitty cat is here. He loves the poultry cat food. He does, yes. Chicken, and whatever else is in it. He seems to be enjoying it a lot. Yep. All right, so let me switch this back to me so you can see me again. There you go. Okay, so as I was saying, may all you guys have a happy and safe day, and I will see you guys on Silver Moon Radio with Michelle, AM 1610, 7 o'clock on Kick and Twitch tonight. Amen. Amen. And don't forget, I want to thank everybody that has helped us to achieve our goals of becoming financially stable. I don't think I say that enough. That I want to thank you for many of the years of support you've given to make it possible for us to have a fairly normal life. And I appreciate everything that you have given. Amen. Well, service is over. Time to go. Peace, kind, love, and don't forget to party on, dude. And we'll see you tonight on Kick at 7 o'clock Eastern Time. Bye-bye. Bye-bye.
Lumi shines with a spark so bright, chasing dreams through the endless night. With a heart full of wonder and a mind so free, she's here to share her world, come and see. It's Lumi's time, the story's hers to tell. Through the highs and lows, she does it so well. Come along, take the ride, feel the glow. Lumi's channels here, let the magic flow. From the stars to the sea, there's so much to find. A journey awaits with every step of the mind. Creativity flowing, she's ready to explore. Every moment's a chance to open a door. It's Lumi's time, the story's hers to tell. Through the highs and lows, she does it so well. Come along, take the ride, feel the glow. Lumi's channels here, let the magic flow. The adventure's just begun, so stay close and near. Lumi's here to light up the way, crystal clear. Story's hers to tell. Through the highs and lows, she does it so well. Come along, take the ride, feel the glow. Lumi's channels here, let the magic flow. Let the magic flow. The adventure's just begun, so stay close and near. Lumi's here to light up the way, crystal clear.